What's up?
Hi.
Tyler, Keith. We're here with a concert review. This time we saw Epica, Lacuna Coil and Insomnium on the Ultimate Principle Tour. Rams Head, Baltimore, Maryland, September something, 27th. So we're a few days late on this, but better late than never. We've seen Epica. This is our third time.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Lacuna Coil before or Insomnium. I was very excited to see both of them. So, and then Epica's always great live. So we unfortunately missed the opening band, Elantris, I believe they're called. Like, we literally were walking in when they were finishing up. So
yeah,
that sucks. So, sorry we missed that. So let's talk about Insomnium. I love Insomnium. They're one of my favorite bands, and so I was very excited to see them. I missed them on their previous tours that they've come around. And, you know, they were great. They were cool. But they're definitely more of a studio band than a live band, in my opinion. And I thought their mix was just off. Something about it was off, and it made it a little bit hard to get into it. Where at times it was just, especially when they played like clean guitars and stuff, it was just very hard to hear them. And you know, it's just more of the mix. And to me, on their studio albums, they perfect everything. Everything just sounds so good. And they're a melodic band, so when you hear those things perfected in a studio, it can sound really, really good. Live, I'm not saying it sounded awful. I think it was just something about their mix, and they just seemed quiet and all kinds of stuff. But they opened with the Primeval Dark, which was cool. Then they went into While We Sleep, which is their most popular song. Both of them were great. Also, I was curious on how they would do their new album, because their new album is literally just one song that's like 42 minutes long, or something like that. But it is broken up into 7 parts. So I was curious on how they would do that, and they did. They just played the first 4 parts. So they played part 1 and 2 back to back, which makes sense. Those 2 songs go together really, really well on the album. Then they played Mortal Share, which is an older track. Then parts 3 and 4. They played Change of Heart, and then Ephemeral, and ended with the Promethean song. Ephemeral was awesome. I think that was the song that kind of got people going the most. That has a super upbeat chorus. It's a very catchy song. So that was great to hear live. And the Promethean song was great too. They were good. It's just, maybe something was just off that night. I don't know. I mean, I think musicianship-wise and everything, they were good. I think their singer could have used a little bit more excitement compared to their 2 guitar players, but that's just my opinion, of course.
I mean, there's not too terribly much that I can say that Tyler didn't already say. I'm not very familiar with Insomnium, and I don't know if maybe that would have helped a little bit, maybe being a little more aware of the songs. Like, the songs were good, and like Tyler said, the musicianship and stuff like that was really good. And like from what I heard, it was like, oh, I can see this being really cool. But I would agree. I feel like it seemed like it would be stuff that would better suited on a studio album than live. And I think towards the end of their set I started to get a little bit more into it, like with the song's Ephemeral. It's a cool song, and it's just, so I'll have to check them out because I'm definitely curious after this. But it's just like I can't really base my opinion off of this. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. So Insomnium has some very interesting clean vocals, and I was curious on how they would do that live. They mostly do it with one of their guitar players that does the clean vocals. He sings, but they have the backing track playing along with them. And what I liked about that, though, is I felt like he was singing at a completely different pitch than what he sings on the album, which was cool. So it's like you're still kind of getting that experience live, because they do sound really kind of weird but cool, and it fits Insomnium. But then he's singing at a different pitch, so you're getting something, unique there. I thought that was well done. And they were cool. Maybe I just need to see him again some other time, maybe a different spot. So
Maves.
Next up was Lacuna Coil. We haven't seen Lacuna Coil, and fuck me, I just blew out the wrong thing. But I was looking forward to seeing them, and when I saw that these two were touring together. I mean, this is kind of a co-headliner. Lacuna Coil did get to play a decent amount. I was kind of glad that Epica was closing out the show.
Yeah. For
reasons we'll get to later. But I thought Lacuna Coil was pretty damn solid. So.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. Definitely like high energy and getting the crowd into it. Both Christina Scabia and I don't remember the other. I'll have to look it up here in a second. I'm blanking on his name, but they both sounded really well, and it was really cool because they did play, a bunch of songs from a few songs from the new album. Like I know they played "House of Shame," which is really cool.
Ended with it, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
that's a good song to end on. It's a nice punch to the face, you know.
I'm surprised they didn't play "Delirium" because I thought that was the biggest. I was under the impression that was the biggest song from their new album. Maybe
it's definitely "The House of Shame." It's definitely the biggest song off it, but I thought "Delirium" was a popular one for sure.
Yeah, and so I was just a little bit surprised they didn't play that. But like they played, like "Our Truth,"
and Andrea Farrow.
Andrea,
I knew it began with an A, but I was blanking on his name, so sorry about that.
But last night, "Heaven Is a Lie."
Mm-hmm. Trip the Darkness.
Yep, that's what I was looking for. Trip the Darkness is cool. It was just a lot of fun. Blood, Tears, and Dust was a cool song, and Nothing Stands in Our Way. Remember, Die and Rise is cool. Maybe the only thing is that once you kind of hear a lot of their popular stuff kind of in a row, it's like, oh, you can kind of see similarities, which is fine. I mean, it's definitely a very vocal-driven band, but you can kind of see like similarities in how the songwriting is. But yeah, I liked the performances. I thought everybody did good. I don't know why I kept finding myself looking at the drummer.
Yeah,
I know. I liked his face makeup, and he's singing along. It looked really cool. I'm like,
yeah. I thought they were good, and Christina sounded great. Andrew, I think he sounds better live than on the album. To be honest, I think he sounds good on the album, but something about live, like his harsher vocals just sound so much better. They come off better live, which is awesome to hear. Yeah, I agree. Where at a certain point, it's kind of like that's the same chord progression you've kind of been using a lot for these choruses and stuff. And look, I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that. It's a chord, those things work well, and Lacuna Coil is much more about the vocals than it is the guitars and the choruses and stuff. And I mean, their main riffs are different and they sound cool and stuff, but it's definitely like when you hear them all together, I was like, interesting. But I think some of these songs go over really well live. Die and Rise is a fun song to hear live. And then Our Truth, Nothing Stands in Our Way. I love that song. Nothing Stands in Our Way is like such a kind of typical rock song, but it is such a catchy song. Spellbound's another one that I was excited to hear. I love that song. But they did play a lot off their new album, though, which, unsurprisingly. But I think their new album is good. It's a little bit more return to good Lacuna Coil. And so it was good to hear some of those songs live. I mean, Ghost in the Mist is one that stands out to me as a good song from their new album. They were solid, for sure. And I think they had a lot of excitement to them, especially compared to Insomnium, which they are two totally completely different bands.
Different experience. This band's 20 years old.
Yeah, that's something that they were going on about, that they're like writing a book and all kinds of stuff. They're like, yeah, we're celebrating 20 years next year. It's like,
wow,
what the fuck? Like, I do not think of Lacuna Coil as a 20-year-old band.
Maybe like 15. I could see that. I was like, I could think that, but it was like, man, 20 years.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Epica headlined the show. This was by far the best performance I've seen from Epica, and one of my favorite performances that I think I've ever seen. Epica was an incredibly fun time.
Epica's up there now with like Anthrax and Lamb of God is one of my favorite live bands. Epica's slow. I think Epica's officially become like my favorite band. Like, I fucking love everything they do. And it comes off so much in their live show, just how much fun these guys have. Especially the keyboardist and the one guitarist. Mm-hmm. Like, they fucking ran out into the crowd during one of their songs, and the one guitarist was just hanging out behind this couple that was standing behind the soundboard, and it took them until the end of the song to realize who was there. Yeah. Which is really funny. They kind of went up and was like licking their hands and smacking each other.
Yeah,
and
their keyboardist was moshing at the same time as playing. That's always funny to see.
The keyboard, his stationary thing, because he had like a thing that he could kind of walk around with, but like he could spin the thing on the stand, and so then him and then they were like marching around. It was just a lot of fun. And then there was the stupid song that they played, the intro to
Sancta Terra.
Yeah.
It was one of those, like, we're going to get the crowd to yell something. Usually it's hey, you know. But they're just like, hey, what's your name? Insomnium merch guy, and the dude's name is Chad. So instead of yelling hey, everybody's yelling Chad, which just sounded dumb. But they made it go right into Sancta Terra perfectly. It was awesome. I think it's almost like, you know, we've seen them at the Baltimore Soundstage, which is an awesome venue, but it is way smaller than Ram's Head. And then Ram's Head stage is big. So it's almost like you give these guys a bigger sandbox to play in, they're going to have a lot more fun, you know?
Yeah.
And they're going to do a lot more incredibly dumb things. And it's cool. It's just like, their music is so, no pun intended, epic. And you would think that they would be, like, so
serious. Take this serious.
Classy.
I'm an artist.
Yeah. And they're up there just, I don't think they ever stop smiling. They don't ever stop moving.
They don't stop headbanging. That's gotta be rough for your neck.
I know. Like, yet their musicianship is just perfect all the time. Like, they nail their riffs. Simone Simmons nails it on vocals. I mean, everything is just so fucking well done. We saw him the first time their keyboard player wasn't there. We saw him the second time he was there. And, you know, it was good, but he just makes that band come to life all the time. Yeah. I mean, even without him, they're great, but he is the most fun guy to watch up on stage, in my opinion. I mean, it's crazy how he just rides his fucking keyboard like it's a skateboard.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's fun. But, I mean, their set list was awesome. I mean, they played Edge of the Blade, Unleashed. Those two songs are always cool to hear. Wheel of Destiny is the only new song that they played off of their new EP, which I like their new EP a lot. And I was hoping to at least hear the title track or Architect of Light. Those two songs are awesome. But Wheel of Destiny was another one I was hoping to hear. So I was hoping they would play one more off of that. But then, you know, off of Clown Enigma, they played The Essence of Silence, Victims of Contingency, Reverence, Living in Heart, and Unchained Utopia. Those songs are always great, and every time I listen to them, it just still gives me incredible feelings and vibes, and it still makes me go, yeah, Clown Enigma was definitely the best album that these guys have. I love a lot of their material, but that album, to me, is just miles above everything. Especially, like, Victims of Contingency is so heavy. Yeah. I haven't heard that song in a while. When they busted it out, I'm like, fuck, I need to listen to this, because I forgot how heavy this song is. You know, Dancing in a Hurricane, Beyond the Matrix, those songs are great live off of their new album, Holographic Principle, especially Beyond the Matrix.
Beyond the Matrix, that's my favorite song. That's my favorite Epica song, I think.
Yeah.
I still just love the chorus and the riff behind it. It's just it's got so much energy behind it.
Yeah.
And it comes off live. They just get people to jump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a song that I don't see that song coming out of their set list anytime soon. No. As, you know, they move forward. And then they played all their stuff, Cry for the Moon, which is interesting, Signed to Oblivion, which is cool. They really put it together. It was awesome.
They also did Storm of Sorrow with Christina Scapin.
Yes,
which is really cool.
Awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I love that song a lot. You know, Requiem for the Indifferent isn't the best Epica album, but that song is so good. Especially the verses are just awesome. And that song is perfect to have Christina come out and sing. She sounded great.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, these two should do more things together, because they both are incredible vocalists, and they both too have like their own distinct sound to them as well. And, you know, I would love if those two did more stuff. Like if
Like
Simone
on the
sang
next,
on the
like,
Lacuna Coil
or like on the
album.
next Epica album.
Yeah, like, man. That would be awesome. That was great to hear about.
Yeah.
It is just a ton of fun. It really
One of probably the most fun show I think this year that I've been to.
Yeah.
In terms of pure fun.
Definitely. So yeah. Let us know if you went to this tour. I'm pretty sure it's over at this point. We were like the second to last.
Yeah, because they ended
day of the tour, third to last. I don't fucking know. So yeah, let us know if you went to it. Go check all these bands out because they're definitely awesome. Thanks for watching.